Ollie, that must be so hard to take so late after working so hard.
Yeah, you know, it looked like a good, well-earned point and a good point in a difficult game where we, when you get the first goal, you hope and you think that you're going to create chances enough to win the game, but unfortunately that sending off will always have an impact on the game.
Yeah, it was a big moment, Nat. What was your reflection about the sending off?
That's a little bit the AstroTurf that Aaron gets a touch that's too far and he gets the ball but he follows through, so it's hard to argue against the referee, but then again he didn't go through his ankle, he hit him on the top of his foot, so it was never a malicious tackle.
You sort of changed the system slightly for the second half, and it looked so comfortable. It's like it came from nowhere. The
we felt, you saw the signs towards the end of the first half that they were going to switch it, get crosses in. So they wanted wing backs, and I thought we coped with it well. Then we're a bit lazy going out blocking the cross on the first goal, and a bit unlucky because it gets deflected on Luke, and of course the last goal, that's just unfortunate. That's just something that happened.
Yeah, I mean, a horrible moment for Jesse, obviously.
Yeah, but that happens in a game, you know. That's football, ups and downs, and you've got big moments. You've got big moments that goes for you and against you. He'll handle that one, and we will handle it.
We've now got back-to-back home games in this group. It's only match day 1, of course, but those games are now obviously looking quite important.
Yeah, you know, you need 10, 12 points to go through. So you need to win your home games, win one away from home, and you're through. So missed opportunity tonight, of course. But then again, last year we won 2 first games against PSG and Red Bull, and everyone thought we were through. So we got 5 games to get the 10 or 12 points.
Thank you, Ollie.
Cheers.
Yeah, good point there. Let's hope it sharpens the mind, they focus and do get the next 2 wins on the board, 2 home games, Villarreal and Atalanta, who are playing at the moment, actually. Atalanta leading by 1-0. Just heard from Ollie there, no complaints with the red card, which is what we said here.
Yeah, no, I mean, there was no intent to hurt the lad. You know, as I said, his touch took the ball, got away from him a little bit, he went into the tackle, he went to play the ball. He might have even got the slightest nick on the ball, I'm not so sure, but his follow through then hits the lad's leg. The referee sees that, and a lot of the time the referee are going to give you a red card. I personally think he could have given him a yellow, you know, because the intent wasn't there, the ball was there to be won. But, you know, I mean, as Ollie says, you can't really argue when he does give a red because the contact's quite severe. So you feel it's a bit hard done by. But listen, I thought it was pretty even game. I thought they came out the stalls really well. I thought they brought the energy to the game as well. We looked in control with possession at times, but they had more energy than maybe we did in the first part of that game. But it changed everything. You know, second half we changed things around, and we went to you know, keep the lead and not concede. Yeah. We were a bit unlucky with that first goal with the deflection, and then obviously you can't legislate for the second.
All right, we can go straight back to Switzerland actually. Harry Maguire is with Stuart.
Harry, it must be hard to take so late in the game.
Yeah, of course. Put ourselves in a strong position, obviously. A tough game, tough surface, and obviously away from home, and then we find ourselves going down to 10 men. And we looked comfortable in the game. Obviously, we conceded a scruffy goal, which was really unlucky, and then. Although we wasn't playing our greatest football and we wasn't the biggest threat, at the other end of the pitch we looked really solid, didn't really concede many chances, and then obviously a big sucker punch at the end to concede the goal, and they go away with a victory. It's the first game in a group, we've got many games to bounce back and we must do.
Yeah, it changed the shape a little bit in the second half, and it looked as though you were quite comfortable really. It's like the equaliser almost came from nowhere really.
Yeah, definitely. We started the second half well, and I think the shape helped us get out and defend crosses a lot better. I think you've seen towards the end of the first half, they really put a lot of numbers in the box, and with a back four we couldn't really control the box very well. So I think the shape worked really well. Like you say, it's 2 goals that we've conceded, and not really any major chances. Obviously, long-range shots and a few crosses across our goal, which you expect when you play with 10 men. But yeah, like I say, maybe we could have been a little bit of a threat on the other end and more in the counter-attack. But yeah, it's disappointing to take in the end.
Horrible moment for Jesse right at the end there as well, and after everyone worked so hard for an hour or more, to concede like that must be so disappointing.
Yeah, of course. course it's disappointing. That's football. People make mistakes. Everyone's human. We're not blaming Jesse. He's come on. He's tried to do the right thing, and obviously he's left his pass short. Everyone makes mistakes. I'm sure every footballer who's played on that pitch today has made a mistake for a goal. So I'm sure Jesse will pick himself up. Will pick himself up, and we'll be ready to go again Sunday.
It's only match day 1, of course, and you've got back-to-back home games now in the group, so they could be important in this group.
Yeah, of course. We don't like losing any football match, so we're disappointed tonight, of course. But like you say, it's match day 1. We've got 5 more games in the group to go, and we'll be looking to pick up 3 points in the next game and gain momentum from there. But yeah, like you say, it's disappointing to lose the first game. A long way to go, and we have an objective, and we've still got every chance of achieving that objective.
Thanks a lot, Harry.
So that's the verdict of Stuart and Ben over in Bern in Switzerland. An amazing night for young boys, not so much for Manchester United. Obviously difficult after Aaron Wan-Bissaka got sent off on 35 minutes. Manchester United's last shot of the game, their second shot, was from Cristiano Ronaldo, and that came on 25 minutes. So it was a bit of a fallow period in front of goal for those remaining stages of the game. Obviously, at half-time, we spoke about Solskjaer making changes. We did see, as you mentioned before, about Rafa Varane. He came on. It changed to a back 3 with wing-backs. But you can do all the defending you want and all the preparation you want. But it's a stinger when a play. Really unfortunate for Jesse Lingard. Obviously, no one intends to make an error of that magnitude. What's the mentality now for someone like Jesse, who isn't always finding himself in that defensive role? Is it just a case of putting it behind him and focusing on the next game when he can?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you have to recover, mentally recover. He'll be hurting now, but how do you channel that hurt going into the next game? You know, you can't let that dwell. You can't sit and think, oh, this is how it's going to be. You know, that's why you're at the top of the game. Mentally, you recover very quickly. It's horrible in the moment, and I'm sure Jesse will. He's come through much more over periods of time. And hopefully he can carry on with his good form, and this will just be a blip. I'm sure he will.
There is a saying in football that confidence is hard to earn but easy to knock. Jesse is not a man who's short of confidence, so hopefully he'll bounce back for Manchester United in the games ahead. In terms of the way that young boys played, we've given them credit. They deserve it. They played very, very well. One man who was absolutely all over the park was Elia.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to mark someone who does have that free roaming role, Danny? Because, you know, he was popping up out on the right, out on the left. He was even mucking in the more central roles as well. How difficult is that for a team and a unit who especially are more focused defensively like United were after the Wan-Bissaka red card to defend against someone who is just all over the place?
I think it's not the fact that he's all over the place, it's the fact that when he gets the ball or when he's in action, it's the productivity that he has. So he was quick, he was direct, he was strong. I mean, because if you've got your 3 centre-halves playing against him, you know, you can always pass him along and it's not too much of a problem. But when he's going wide and running at you, and like he did to Lindelof in the first half and got the ball across, and then he's popping up on the right-hand side and doing similar to get crosses in and so on, which he did for the goal, you know, it's up to that individual person to win that individual battle. So it's not much a case of him going to other areas, just a case of winning your individual battle against him. And he won most of his individual battles, whoever he was up against tonight.
In terms of Manchester United, when they did have the ball, despite the fact they were down to 10 men, is there an argument for them perhaps using the pitch better, using the space better? There are a couple of opportunities for them to play the ball perhaps into these sorts of areas and just allow players to run into the channel and maybe hold the ball in the corner. And I know that's quite a negative thing to do. And this is Manchester United we're talking about, a team historically who are so attacking and so good at doing so. But sometimes you have to read the situation and play the percentage game. Perhaps maybe that might have been an option for Manchester United just to try and kill a bit of time during that game.
I think it's a mixed bag because young boys are pressing. They're high energy and they're smelling blood. They're thinking that they can get in these sort of areas and, you know, get in behind us. So for you to then get into, you know, to put players forward, they're getting, you know, they're piling forward, knowing full well they've got everybody at the back. So when you're breaking, you need to have the likes of, you know, your focal point was Ronaldo in the second half, and you need to get the ball up to Ronaldo, either find it to his feet, but then you've got to get people up in support without leaving yourself exposed. That's why you went 3 at the back with the hope that we could potentially go forward like that and stay solid with the 3 and the holding midfielder, but it didn't pan out that way. You know, they kept pressing on. We didn't manage to get into these areas and create. The one time we almost did was Ronaldo when he thought he'd won a penalty. But other than that, you know, it's very difficult. We chose to sit off and didn't use the ball well enough or quick enough when we were in possession.
We've also underlined the energy that young boys showed. We mentioned before kick-off that this is just the second time that they've ever played in the UEFA Champions League group stages. So it's a massive game for them, coming up against one of the best players ever to lace up a pair of boots in Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the biggest clubs on planet Earth in Manchester United. Is that something that maybe away from home United just need to be a little bit more cautious of? Teams like young boys who are so up for these occasions that sometimes it can be their be-all and end-all. And, you know, they were playing like it was their own Champions League final at times during that game.
Well, I think that's everybody. You know, you're taught at this football club, even from being a kid, that wherever you go, whoever you're playing against, Man United's the biggest game. You know, that's not just because they're a good football club, it's the history that comes with it, you know, and the magnitude of everything that surrounds Manchester United. So, you know, whether it's young boys, whether you're playing against Fulham in the Cup or anybody, whoever it may be, you know, they're going to be playing at the best, and you have to be of a certain mindset to be able to handle that, and these boys are. But tonight, young boys were just on a different level in terms of energy, in terms of application, and us going down to 10 men wasn't ideal. So, you know, you have to take it in isolation and move on from there.